is Africa Today. My name is Najima Loima, but first are the headlines. Noob, a supporter, jumps from dock at military court, sings to the Mbalingule. MPs vote to dig deep into controversial coffee agreement. Kenyans pay last respects to Mwai Kibaki. Kings give Giants a painful send-off as Budo Chitende continue Jagnat. The General Court Marshal Makinde was thrown into panic yesterday after jailed National Unit Platform supporter Muldin Kakoza jumped out of the dock and attacked soldiers. This was during the bail application for 10 supporters of NUP who are battling offences of unlawful possession of firearms. We have more. Kakoza, who is already serving an 8-month sentence for contempt of court following his chaotic behavior earlier in the year, this time jumped out of the dock and started singing one of the songs of Robert Chagulanyi, Tulia Mbalingule. Kakoza's chaos came after a team of lawyers led by Fred Musisi informed the 9-member court chaired by Lieutenant General Andrew Guti that they were not ready to proceed because they were only served with witness statements on 26 April 2022. The 10 National Unit Platform supporters who have applied for bail are Seguja Rashid, Sechtoreko Yasin, Rugumai Robert, Maiga Ronald, Chijambo Simon, Chijambo Ronald, Olivia Lutaya, Abdumatovuch Wankamisaj, Wandera Ibrahim, and Katushabe Chigozi Livingston. Each of the 10 National Unit Platform supporters who have applied for bail presented 2 sureties asking court to grant them bail since it's their constitutional right and that they will abide by the court orders. Musisi, the defense lawyer, said that due to time they were unable to apply for bail for all the 32 accused persons, prosecution, and hoped that next time when they return to court even the remaining 22 will also apply for bail. Guti set May 9th, 2022 as the date for hearing of the main suit. The NUP supporters are charged with unlawful possession of firearms, which a prosecution alleges that they committed in areas of Jinja, Wakiso, Mitiana, Kampala, among other places. Uganda Wildlife Authority is investigating the circumstances under which 3 lionesses were electrocuted in Changabukama village in Rubirizi district. The authority mouthpiece, Bashir Hangi, confirmed the incident and told the press that the lionesses were allegedly electrocuted at 9 p.m. on Saturday. We have more on this report.
According to the Public Relations Officer of the Uganda Wildlife Authority, Bashir Hangi, the lionesses were passing through the community land in Changabukama and were electrocuted when they got in contact with an electric fence enclosing Irunga Safari's Lodge Gardens. Hangi added that the lioness, 1 adult and 2 sub-adults, were killed instantly. He told the press that they notified police in Rubirizi and a scene of crime officer from police was dispatched to make an investigation before, and a post-mortem was conducted before they were transported to Mwea to dispose the carcasses. Hangi also said that they searched and have not yet seen any injured one, adding that this is the first of its kind in the Queen Elizabeth Conservation Area. Yusuf Mugisa, a resident in the area, told the press that he was informed by his children that lions were coming before they ran inside for their dear lives. Mugisa added that after a few minutes, they heard the lions screaming, and when they walked outside, they saw 2 lions were already dead.
The Parliamentary Committee on Trade, Tourism and Industry this week commenced investigations into the controversial coffee deal signed between the government and Uganda Vinch Coffee Company Limited. Chaired by Mwine Mpaka, the committee interrogated officials from UVCC, led by the company secretary Moses Matovu, where they unearthed several irregularities regarding the coffee deal. During the meeting, MPs on the committee were dismayed to learn how the Italian investor Enrica Pinet, the director, UVCC, reportedly mortgaged 25 acres of government land in Namave, given to them to secure a loan from a commercial commercial bank in order to set up the coffee processing plant. Ginger North County MP of Parliament David Isabili told the committee how UVCC reportedly wrote to Uganda Investment Authority seeking permission to use the land titles for the said land to acquire a loan. According to Isabili, the request was hastily granted by UIA in the wee hours of the night, but the company's secretary Matovu vehemently denied the allegations, saying that UVCC has neither borrowed any money nor mortgaged the title of the said land in Namamve. To his surprise, Bwamba MP Richard Muhumuza Gafabusa tabled before the committee an email which Pinet wrote to the former UIA acting director Basil Aja seeking authorization to use the land title to secure a loan. Matov later acknowledged the correspondences but insisted that the request to mortgage government land did not materialize, prompting the committee chairperson Mwine Mpaka to demand for the copy of the land titles. Let's take a quick break. We will be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching TV Africa News, the right to know. Authorities in Kenya are preparing a state funeral for former President Mwai Kibaki, who passed away last week. A state funeral with full military honors will take place this Saturday. We have more.
On Monday, the body of the former president lied in state in the national parliament to give Kenyans one last opportunity to pay their respects. Yvonne Onsoti, a resident in Nairobi, say they have lost a hero who was a father to the nation, an economist who has revived this country and has put in place strategies that has seen Kenya progress from where it has come from. Another resident, Marian Adiambo, added that Kibaki was a good man during his time when the economy was doing well, although they are suffering now. Mwai Kibaki served as the country's third president from December 2002 to April 2013, taking over from the authoritarian rule of Daniel Arap Moi. Strong economic growth and investment in education and health were some of his achievements. This Friday, a funeral service is planned to take place in the National Stadium in the Kenyan capital. Kibaki's final resting place will be his hometown of Othaya in the Nyeri Highlands.
Away from that, the Democratic Republic of Congo has reported a second Ebola-related death in the northwestern part of the country after declaring a new Ebola outbreak over the weekend. The outbreak is the 14th after one confirmed case was reported on Saturday in Mbandaka, a city in the DRC's Equatorial Province. The World Health Organization said that the second fatality was a female relative of the first case. According to the WHO, the patient died before receiving any treatment. On Monday, health authorities said more than 100 people had been identified as possible contacts and a vaccine was expected to be rolled out this week. Samples analyzed at the main laboratory in Kinshasa showed that the new outbreak is not linked to previous ones, including one that ended 2 years ago, which caused more than 2,000 deaths. Authorities in the country say more than 1,300 vaccines are scheduled to be flown from Goma in the eastern part of the country to Mbandaka, and the vaccination exercise will begin on Wednesday. Investigations are ongoing to determine the source of the new outbreak. Moving on, the Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission said it was going after officials at the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority on Monday, who it accuses of fueling corruption at the country's borders.
The anti-graft body said the country's borders had become enablers of high-level criminal activity, including drug trafficking, livestock theft, money laundering, and smuggling of minerals, which it says is costing the country about $1.8 billion per annum in illicit financial flows. ZAC has lately been targeting cross-border transporters to stop rampant smuggling of goods and human trafficking. The sting operation has angered transport operators who feel they were being unfairly treated. Speaking during the official opening of the capacity building workshop on financial investigation and asset recovery, facilitated by the International Center for Asset Recovery, ZAC chairperson Lois Matanda Moyo said they were targeting the taxman and other law enforcement agencies for abating corruption at the borders. According to Matanda Moyo, all assets seized will be forfeited to the state. She, however, bemoaned the lack of skills among law enforcement agents to help fight graft.
A veteran left-wing Tunisian politician announced the creation of a new alliance aimed at restoring constitutional normality in the country following President Kais Said's power grab last year. The president was elected in 2019 and sacked the government on July 25th, 2021. We have more.
Parliament was also suspended shortly afterwards, while the president seized wide-ranging powers. Ahmed Najib Chebi, founder of the National Salvation Front, said that they were to announce the creation of the National Salvation Front, a political front that comprises, adding that up to till now, 5 political parties and 5 political groups, including 6 parliamentary groups. The veteran politician added that they believe that the social crisis will grow and will have extremely strong repercussions on political stability. He said that to create a political force gathering prominent figures in the country that offers a plan to return to democracy and save Tunisia is likely to have support. The new alliance comprises 5 political parties, including the Islamist-inspired Ennahda Party, along with 5 civil society groups involving independent political figures. Tunisians face a referendum on constitutional reforms in July, followed by legislative elections in December.
Let's once again take a quick break. We will be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching TV Africa News, the right to know. In our business news today, the Angolan oil sector has reason to smile with export figures more than satisfactory at the end of 2021, beginning of 2022. In the same vein, the historic launch of the very first oil platform in the country will take place next June. We have more.
Going by the name Lifua, the platform is under construction in the Malongo camp in Cabinda and should be launched into the sea in a few weeks. Supported by the giant Chevron through its local subsidiary Cabinda Gulf Oil Company Limited, the project required a budget of $60 million. This information was made public during a 3-day visit by President João Lourenço to Cabinda province, during which the project was presented to him. Last Friday, José Barroso, Angolan Secretary of State for Oil and Gas, while presenting the results of the sector, confirmed the recovery after a terrible year in 2020. The counters showed $27.87 billion in crude oil export revenues in 2021, an increase of 51.4% year-on. A total of 394.22 million barrels of crude oil were shipped to Angola's customers around the world, led by China, which bought 71.51%, followed by India with 7% according to the same source. The project, which is part of the up in the Angolan oil sector, is intended to create 300 direct jobs and will have its entry into production in late 2023.
In our health news today, patients on dialysis are at a high risk of suffering from stroke, but they can't tell. To be sure, a doctor must analyze murmurs and harms made by the movement of the blood. In a laboratory in Mbarara, a team is using a demo to listen to the vesicular sound carefully. It is recorded by written software to determine if it is normal. The set of machines makes up the early stroke detection device. We have more on this report.
The innovation is the brainchild of Mbarara University of Science and Technology biomedical engineering students who are inspired by the loss that can be prevented with the timely arrest of the neurological condition. Keith Richard Kwagala, the team leader, explained that after visiting the regional referral hospital, they were able to establish that interruptions to blood flow within the brain through the carotid artery is also an indicator of ischemic stroke occurrence. Built with locally available materials, the device is programmed to detect stroke when it is at an early stage. It is a much-needed intervention in a country where thousands of patients still have to travel abroad seeking specialized treatment because of the lack of medical equipment, sometimes including basic screening machines. The biomedical engineering department at the university is focusing on medical imaging, medical devices, and rehabilitation engineering. The early stroke detection device is touted as a game changer that could reduce the neurological burden. According to the World Health Organization, stroke accounts for at least 9,000 deaths in Uganda every year, and 15 million people suffer from brain attacks globally.
And in sports, it was a painful and sad ending for Royal Giants at the ongoing USSSA Boys Football Championship in Arua. The Royal Giants, who collected maximum points from the group stage, were upstaged by debutant Samokono Kings at the first hurdle of the knockout games. Let's take a look.
Giants, who were fans to go further than where they stopped, were handed a lifeline by the referee who sent off goalkeeper David Wafula inside the opening 10 minutes, yet the Giants from Mutiana district failed to capitalize on the mineral advantages as the game crawled into spot kicks. Mukono Kings, who are yet to lose a shootout in 5 attempts, were the first to lose the chance when Abe Akwili set his ball wide out. But Royal Giants' next kicker also hit the ball skywards. As the keepers kept saving shot by shot, it was the first loser to pack their bags, and fatefully it was Royal Giants goalie who hit the woodwork as the referee blew the first whistle. The score stood at 9-8 in favor of Kings, who ran around the pitch to celebrate their victory on their debut season. Kings will now meet St. Mary's SS Chitende in the semis. The defending champions were relieved to win 2-0 against London College Nansana, especially after goalkeeper Jack Komakech gifted the opponents an unlikely equalizer before the break.
And that ends our news bulletin today. Please do stay tuned. More programming coming your way.